Flexibility is the name of the game for Mr. Fantastic. Whether stretching from enemy to ally, bouncing attacks across the battle, and rebounding strikes like rubber, Mr. Fantastic excels at mitigating damage and dealing damage. But how do you know when to switch from offense to defense, from dealing damage to blocking damage? Hello everybody, welcome back. It is I, DJ Turtle Vortex, and in this video we will break down Mr. Fantastic's unique playstyles and what you should do to get the most out of Mr. Fantastic in your games. Before we begin, I want to thank you all for the support. Please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It helps a lot and you can keep in touch with my future uploads. There's a lot more Mr. Fantastic and Ultron videos in the pipeline I got ready for y'all. With that out of the way, let's introduce the three types of playstyles. The first one is Frontlines, followed by Counter Dive and Dive. Each one can potentially all be performed in the same match, or depending on what you encounter, can be singularly be performed in one match. There's a lot of dependencies and we'll discuss what each one entails as we dive into them. Let's start with the Frontline Playstyle. Depending on the team composition, a Frontline Playstyle could be playing Fantastic as an off tank or third tank. This is usually against poke or sniper compositions where the other playstyles may not be completely effective. For example, the enemy team has a Hela, Punisher, Moon Knight, Hawkeye. These types of characters are usually far behind the tanks and are sticking close to their healers in the backline. This makes the dive or flanking playstyle very hard to take advantage of as Fantastic. You'll get blasted the moment they see you. Times like these, you're better off playing with your tanks since your healers won't be in danger of any divers, so to speak. What you can do when it comes to this playstyle is cleave along the tanks and pinching damage to everyone behind them, supporting your tanks with elongation and trying to prevent the enemy tanks or team from getting value with their ultimates with your reflexive rubber. However, it's not always as cookie cutter as I make it sound. The enemy composition can be in many forms. You could have 2 tanks, 1 DPS and 3 supports. What then? Focus the DPS. Don't go in and elongate behind enemy lines, that will get you killed, but constantly push any poor positioning and work with your other DPS to catch them off guard, breaking the tank front line and getting them to turn around or away from the support's line of sight. Let's take a look at the frontline playstyle. In fact, I show a little bit of the counter dive playstyle as the round starts. You can see right now I'm standing beside the thing and I noticed Penny rotating to our backline. Our Venom also called it out. I push her out, calling the Venom in for the kill as I try to spin behind her, but unfortunately she gets away. Going back to the front line, I try to provide the Thing with as much shield as I can, especially when he is peeling back or trying to escape the damage with his charge. You can see my positioning. I'm always behind him and beside him, that way he can use his leap or I can use my elongation. Like I mentioned before, you focus the DPS and catch them off guard when their positioning isn't good. From there we can capitalize on Thor being way too far from his team and Penny unable to tank alone. After that, our offense snowballs into a team wipe. Fantastic isn't really a dive hero. I honestly prefer calling this playstyle a flanking or off angle playstyle, since Fantastic doesn't really have dashes or movement abilities like most divers. Of course, his elongation can cover a decent distance, but it can only be used for escaping the same way the Thing uses it, when allies are nearby. So if you are diving and there's no allies, you can really only push forward and die trying to get the kill, or slowly run away. Which is why I prefer calling it off angle or flanking, which means attacking from one or more sides, not necessarily behind. With a lack of burst damage, true diving and getting kills isn't the best idea for Fantastic, but facilitating dive and allowing the enemy team to split their attention, taking advantage and cleaning up anyone low is where Fantastic excels at. Of course, kills are what you want, but ultimately aren't always what secures victory. Simply being in the way of the enemy strategists and denying them easy access to their front line is a great way at breaking up the enemy formation and allowing your team to isolate anyone alone or push through and make space at the objective. As you can see from the timer, we've been having some challenges getting onto the point. We've lost half our usual time, and going up against the enemy team's lineup, it can be difficult to get a good frontline push. So I decided to get an off angle to get their attention to stop our team from spending time breaking the walls, getting hit by the mines, and instead pushing through the choke. I flank a bit too far from where I'd like, but seeing that the Loki is with me, I take full advantage of the situation. Once I hear the Iron Man ult, it's my cue to flank from their side and disrupt their backline hard. Luckily we get a kill from the maximum pulse. You can see the tanks were divided, with the Groot all the way up and Penny looking to the right. The Punisher was eliminated prior, so it's a 5v6. I pressure Rocket to ult early and secure the Invisible Woman kill. She does respawn later, but at that point her team's defense is spiraling. We get our own support ult to keep our pressure going, and one by one we get them all for the win. My entire goal for this dive was to either push the supports into using their ults early, getting the tanks to turn around, or get eliminations. Somehow, we managed to get all three to happen. Counter dive is the bodyguard playstyle. When you go up against heroes like Psylocke, Black Panther, Magic, and other heroes like Spider-Man and Iron Fist this meta, Fantastic can play an excellent bodyguard and protect supports or other high-value targets. He excels even better at this when certain heroes like The Thing, Magneto, or Hulk is on the team due to their abilities to protect or stun these types of enemy heroes. We've gone over exactly what to do against these heroes in the How to Counter Every Duelist guide, so we'll maintain an overview perspective rather than deep dive each diver here. But do watch that video since I go into greater detail over there. This playstyle, Counter Dive, isn't focused on cleaving and dealing damage so much as it is mitigating damage with elongation and reflective rubber. Remember, these divers are isolating themselves from their team, which means they don't have much access to healing or will be saving their mobility to escape to nearby health packs. Guess what? You can punish that. Not only will they not have any support, but with your slow from elongation and pull with distended grip, you can easily punish their poor positioning when you feel that they are about to escape. Remember, when you're playing counter dive, you are not alone. You have your supports with you. This means you will be getting healed and assisted in focus firing the enemy that is attempting to flank and assassinate your strategists. In this counter dive demonstration, I perform all three of the playstyles. I start from frontline into counter dive and finish with a dive playstyle. I try to keep the Cap and Thing from getting to my backline as best I can while keeping a watchful eye on Magic. Once she pounces on my supports, I try to slow her as best as I can and prevent her from getting kills and escaping. Once she is dealt with, we have a Rocket ult up, and I notice two squishies super far away from their team. So I punish their poor positioning and secure the eliminations needed to win. The goal of learning these playstyles isn't that you'll pick one and stick to it, it's actually to know when to switch to them. Every game is dynamic, and your enemy team might find the solution to their problems by switching their compositions. This might require you to switch your playstyles in turn. Don't forget the map and the objective you have. They could also change what playstyles you perform in a match, whether it's a payload with a capture point like Clintar or straight up domination in Krakoa. Being flexible is what grants you the most reward when you play Fantastic. Pun absolutely intended. I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like and subscribe for more. Thank you and have a great day. I'll see you guys in the next video.